Good afternoon from Joliet, Illinois, Dooley Health and Care Field, home of the University of St. Francis Fighting Saints, where today, in a Monday matinee, they take on Trinity International University. Terry Bonadonna with you on the call for today's CCAC baseball action. After a cold weekend, both teams saw games pushed back. Today, we are back in action, and St. Francis will try to extend a winning streak after they won 2 in a row against Calumet St. Joseph last week. Trinity International comes in with a record of 8-12 overall. They're 1-5 in the conference. Fighting Saints are 9-18, 5-3 in conference play so far this season. And the Fighting Saints are ready to get started here. It'll be Blake Lazaris leading things off for Trinity International and taking a first pitch. Strike over the outside corner. We're underway. 3 o'clock on the dot here in the Central Time Zone. It's 0-1 on the right fielder, Blake Lazaris. Lazaris swings through the next pitch and misses for strike 2. Lazaris going up against Ryan Daly, who's off to a strong start this season. The right-handed starting pitcher for the Fighting Saints. Daly looking for a quick punch-out to begin today's game. The next toss to Blake Lazaris. Check swing on a ball up high and off the glove of Jake Lasota. That goes as ball 1 in the count. 1-2 on Lazaris. 449 hitter so far this season. Tops on the team. He swings and misses. Strike 3. So there's your first out of the game. A nice start for Ryan Daly, who retires a very tough hitter to begin proceedings. He'll face Riley Eddington now with 1 out and nobody on base. Ryan Daly is making his 5th start of the year. It's his 6th appearance overall. He's 1-2 with a 4.15 ERA, coming in 17 1/3 innings. He had allowed 9 runs, 8 of them earned on 20 hits, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts, and he just picked up his 4th strikeout of the year to start today's game off. 1 out. Eddington takes the next pitch for a strike. Daly working quickly and throwing strikes early on. The count goes to 1-1. Riley Eddington, a .290 hitter. 14 runs batted in for the season. That's the base is empty this time. And he takes ball 2 to move ahead in the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Samuel Eddington is in the on-deck circle. Back-to-back Eddingtons. I'll get you the rest of the lineup in just a moment. Ground ball foul past third base. Count evens up. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Eddington, in fact, both Eddingtons, are from Knoxville, Tennessee, playing in the Chicagoland area with Trinity International. They bat 2 and 3 in the order. Cleanup batter is catcher Andrew Johnson. That one breaks over the head of Eddington. Got away from Daly that time, and the count goes full. 1 out, nobody on base. Daly struck out Lazaris to begin the game. But now a full count on Riley Eddington, who tries to become the game's first base runner. Right-hander pitching out of the stretch, even with nobody on base. Gets a chopper to the second baseman, picked up by McGuire. Easy toss over to first, 2 away. A strikeout and a groundout begin today's game for Daly. He'll face Samuel Eddington with nobody on base. The rest of the lineup for Trinity International, I mentioned the catcher Andrew Johnson on deck. Then it's first baseman Seth Llewellyn. Batting 5th, or 6th rather, is the designated hitter Ethan Escorba. Luis Henriquez bats 7th at shortstop. The number 8 batter is left fielder Jackson Schulzenhofer, and batting 9th, center fielder Brady Popovich. This is the third baseman Samuel Eddington swinging through strike 1. Samuel's a .340 hitter in limited action. He's 16 for 47. 2 extra base hits, 7 RBIs so far on the year. Samuel is the older of the Eddingtons. Swing and a miss. It's 0-2. 4th-year collegiate. Riley, who we just saw ground out to second base, is a freshman in his first season here with Trinity International. Samuel transferred over from Johnson University. He's behind in the count, 0-2. And he takes the ball up and away, 1-2. Ryan Daly looking for a perfect first inning. He's 1 strike away. He's gotten every hitter to 2 strikes here in the first. Eddington grounds it right to the third baseman. Martinez behind the bag, throws across the diamond, and gets Eddington by a step and a half to end the inning. Nice start for Daly. 1, 2, 3 go the Trojans in the top of the first. We'll head to the bottom of the frame. St. Francis will come to bat in a scoreless tie. No score after half an inning of play. Ryan Daly pitched a perfect first inning for St. Francis. Now the Fighting Saints will come to bat for the first time. Let's take a look at their starting nine. Noah Carraro leads things off playing shortstop. Batting second baseman John McGuire. Eric Maffey's in the 3 spot playing first base. The cleanup hitter is catcher Jake Lasota. Batting fifth, designated hitter Scott Tumulty. Batting sixth, right fielder Gio Pappas. Alex Martinez hits 7th and plays third base. Luke Ketchum is in center field. And batting 9th, left fielder Jake Vera. That's the starting 9 for St. Francis, and they're going up against a right-hander for Trinity International, number 33, Michael Zelko. Zelko is a freshman from right around here. He grew up in Joliet, Illinois. Starting for the 6th time this year. He's 1-2 with a 6.56 ERA. In 23 and a third innings pitched this season, he's allowed 29 runs, 17 of them earned on 41 hits. He has 5 strikeouts, he has 3 walks, and he faces Noah Carraro to begin today's game. St. Francis shortstop digs into the right-handed batter's box. Zelko looks in at his catcher, and we're ready to go on both sides. First pitch to Carraro is bunted foul for strike 1. St. Francis' shortstop, Noah Carraro, is a .287 hitter for the season. .357 on base percentage. He's got 11 runs batted in. He's behind in the count here 0-1 as he's drawn the corner infielders in after showing bunt on the first pitch. He takes a ball and the count is even. Zelko, like Ryan Daly of St. Francis, pitches exclusively out of the stretch. So he sets his right foot astride the rubber here and sets for the 1-1. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. St. Francis is coming off of a doubleheader sweep the last time they took the field. Trinity International was swept in a doubleheader against Judson last time they played. Ball up and in, 2-2. It's a game that was originally scheduled for late in the season. It's been moved up to today. Both of these teams had games postponed over the weekend as a result of the cold weather, and the temperature is not that much warmer today. The sun is out, though, and that makes a big difference as Carraro chops it to the right side. Charging it is the second baseman Riley Eddington. His throw to first is mishandled by Seth Llewellyn, and Noah Carraro is safe at first base. So the Saints have their leadoff man on. Somewhat of a difficult play for Eddington right there as he tried to make it on the run. And Carraro runs well. It put a little extra pressure on him, but certainly a makeable play. If the throw had been caught, it would have been on time. They had him beat. Carraro is safe at first, and John McGuire is the batter. Runner goes on the first pitch, low and in. Throw down to second is not in time. So it's 1-0 on John McGuire, and the Saints have a runner in scoring position thanks to the Noah Carraro stolen base. Great start for St. Francis. 1, 2, 3, top half of the inning. And now in the bottom half, thanks to a defensive miscue and a stolen base, they've got a man in scoring position with nobody out. 1-0 to McGuire. Popped up foul and out of play. It's 1-1. Fighting Saints in their home whites today. Trinity International is in their black uniform tops. The Saints played here on Friday in a doubleheader. They were wearing their away uniforms. We're away on the scoreboard, but back to normal today as the home team, as that one is fought off to the right side. Foul. And McGuire falls behind in the count, 1-2. John McGuire is the leading hitter for St. Francis coming in. A couple of big games against Calumet St. Joseph on Friday have raised his average all the way up to 321. He's now one of 3 players on the roster hitting 300 or better. A week ago at this time, they only had 1, and it wasn't any of the current guys. Ball inside. Backs McGuire out of the way. The count is 2-2. Runner at second base. Nobody out. Tough first inning so far for Michael Zelko. He misses outside again. 3-2. He's just underway, but he's been in trouble the whole time. He's struggling against some good St. Francis hitters who have put together long at-bats to this point. Eric Maffey waits on deck. Payoff pitch to John McGuire. Swung on and floated into right field towards the line. Long run for Lazares into foul ground, and he's out of room as that ball reaches the stands. Still 3 balls and 2 strikes on McGuire. McGuire's the team leader in batting average and in on base at 400. Like I said, a big day on Friday. Pushed his numbers up quite a bit. Another 3-2. This one flown into fair territory. Relatively deep out in left center field. Playable, but it drops in front of Brady Popovich. McGuire heads to second base and slides in with a double. Noah Carraro heads to third. He advances just 1 base on the 2-bagger for Carraro. Should have been caught by Brady Popovich. I mentioned just moments ago the sun is shining today, and it seemed to play a huge factor in that at-bat. McGuire hit a fly ball. It was well hit to left center field. Very much a routine play, though. And Popovich just let it drop directly in front of him. Clearly lost it in the last moments there. So good McGuire credit for his 3rd double of the season. Saints have had a pair of base runners. They've both been gifts. There's a line shot by Eric Maffey off the glove of third baseman Samuel Eddington. Nothing gifty about that. A solid base hit for Maffey. Scores Noah Carraro from third base and makes this a 1-0 St. Francis lead. Well, I say that was not a gift, and it certainly wasn't. That was a rifle off the bat of Maffey. But it did hit the glove of Eddington. He dove for it. Certainly shouldn't have been expected to make that play, but I'm sure that he's kicking himself for not making it just the same. As Jake Lasota steps up. Throw over to first base. Runner back to the bag there. That's RBI number 17 this season for Maffey. He has come on very strong of late. Maffey easily the team leader in RBIs with his 17. Here's the man who's second. Jake Lasota's got 13, trying to add to it, and it looks like he will as he pokes one through the gap in left center field. McGuire is in. That ball gets all the way to the wall. Maffey's going to score without a play. A double for Jake Lasota, who stops at second base with 2 more RBIs to his total. It's 3-0 St. Francis. And there's nobody out here in the first inning. What a start offensively for the Fighting Saints. They are getting to Michael Zelko early on. Second straight hard hit for a Fighting Saint. It's the first hit of the game for them, though. That didn't hit off of somebody's glove. Here's Scott Tumulty, the designated hitter in today's game, hitting .302, just 43 at bats, but .302 average is a .302 average. He's got 2 home runs, 8 runs batted in. He takes ball 1 high. The inning began with the error that allowed Noah Carraro to reach base. He stole second. John McGuire followed that up with a double. A high fly that should have been caught by center fielder Brady Popovich, but he lost it in the sun. Swing and a miss. It's 1-1. And then back-to-back solid strikes from Maffey and Lasota. A line shot single to left for an RBI for Maffey. And Jake Lasota brought home 2 runs on his double into the gap. Strike over the outside corner. Tumulty is down in the count, 1-2. Zelko has fallen behind a couple of hitters this inning, but now he's got a pitcher's count and a chance to put away Scott Tumulty, the freshman from Villa Park. He grounds it to the right side. Good place for that ground ball as Eddington throws over to first, and Tumulty is out by just a foot or so as he dove head first towards the bag. A productive out as he advances Jake Lasota to third base. It is the first out recorded in today's game by Michael Zelko. And it'll bring up Gio Pappas. Just one down here. Gio Pappas is a .308 hitter. Team leading 3 home runs, 8 RBIs in 20 games played. Pappas, the number 6 hitter, to bat in the first inning. He takes first pitch strike from Zelko. Three runs are already in here in the bottom of the first inning. What a start for St. Francis. Don't forget how sharp Ryan Daly looked, going 1-2-3 in the top half of the first inning. There's a chopper to third base. Eddington's only play is at first. His throw across the diamond is not in time. It's an infield single for Gio Pappas. It's another run for St. Francis. They lead 4-0. An RBI infield single for Pappas there. Even if he had been out at first base, that was going to score the run easily. And there was no chance of him being out at first base. Just a tough play for Samuel Eddington. Pappas was hustling down the line the whole way. He made it in with ease. Throw to first base. Nearly got away from Seth Llewellyn there. Still just one out in the inning. 4 runs are now in. The batter is Alex Martinez. Martinez is hitting .234 for the year. As the runner goes, he fouls off the first pitch for strike 1. Three extra base hits, 8 RBIs so far this year for the third baseman Martinez. 7th man to bat in this first. Here's the 0-1. With the runner on the move, he takes a ball, throw to second base. Is in time. Gio Pappas is out number 2. 1-1 on Martinez, who now bats with the bases empty. First man to hit with the bases empty since Noah Carraro to lead off the game for St. Francis offensively. Zelko is now just 1 out away from getting out of what has to this point been a really tough inning. Ball 2 downstairs, 2-1. Luke Ketchum will bat next if Martinez reaches base. Called strike 2. Now Zelko is just 1 strike away from getting out of the inning. 4 runs have scored on 4 hits. But there's nobody on right now. Martinez is trying to start a 2-out rally. Zelko stares in for a good long time. Now he's ready to pitch. And he misses in the dirt. Count goes full. Well, he got the good fortune with the caught stealing, with Pappas getting cut down on the bases. Zelko doesn't want to waste that now by putting another man aboard right after. So this is a big 3-2 pitch to Martinez. And it's the fourth ball. First walk issued by Michael Zelko. Sixth base runner of the inning for the Fighting Saints. Here's Luke Ketchum. Ketchum is batting .280. He's got 9 RBIs. Throw over to first base. Sends the runner diving back to the bag. Already 11 extra base hits this year for Luke Ketchum. Hasn't been quite as effective so far this season hitting at home. You'd like to change that right here. First pitch he sees is up high for ball 1. Jake Vera is the only Saint who hasn't batted this inning. The number 9 hitter is currently on deck. Ball 2 outside. So he hadn't been having trouble throwing strikes early on, but now these last 2 hitters have been able to get through to him. Martinez walked. Now it's 2-0 on Ketchum. And Ketchum bounces it foul. Third base side. It's 2-1. Very long first inning by Michael Zelko. That's exactly what he and his manager Shane Gardner wanted to avoid. A lot of games this week for Trinity International. 2-1 misses high. It's 3-1. Both of these teams are playing Calumet College of St. Joseph this week. Both of these teams had some games rained out, or colded out, I should say, over the weekend. There wasn't much rain. The runner goes. It's inside. I think it grazed his arm. Would have been ball 4 anyway, but it's going to go as a hit by pitch. Ketchum is aboard. Martinez up 90 feet. 2 on with 2 out for Jake Vera. Sure, the Fighting Saints are ruining that caught stealing now. They could very easily have the bases loaded with only 1 out. Looking to stomp out Zelko early in this game. Jake Vera bunts at third base side. It's a really nice bunt. Barehanded by the pitcher Zelko, and he has no play. Absolutely nowhere to go with that ball anywhere. A picture-perfect bunt from Jake Vera. He's on. Ketchum's at second. Martinez is at third. Good scoring chance here for the Fighting Saints. They've already scored 4 times. Can they add a few more? Noah Carraro would like to try with a base hit here. He's 0 for 1. Reached on an error way back at the beginning of the inning. Now he's the 10th batter of the inning. First and 10th. He takes the first pitch inside, ball 1. Carraro reached on an error his first time up. Later came around to score the game's first run. Ball high. 2-0. Zelko's in some trouble now. Nobody throwing in the bullpen for Trinity International. Because they have so many games this week, they can't afford to use up their entire bullpen early. There's a tapper to the left side. Tough play for the third baseman Eddington. He throws over to first, and he gets Carraro to end the inning. So the inning finally does go Michael Zelko's way, but not before St. Francis sends 10 men to the plate and scores 4 runs on 4 hits, an error, and 3 left. We'll head to the second inning. It's 4-0 St. Francis. One inning down with 8 to go so far. Couldn't be going much better for the Fighting Saints. They had a great first inning in which they were able to score 4 runs on 5 hits. As Andrew Johnson takes ball 1 outside. We're underway in the second inning. Ryan Daly back to work as he gets a foul ball off to the right side hit by Johnson. Count goes to 1-1. Ryan Daly went 1-2-3 in the top of the first inning, trying to do something similar here in the top of the second. There's a tapper back to the mound, gloved on one hop by Daly. His throw to first is there for out number 1. Andrew Johnson is retired. And that'll bring up Seth Llewellyn. So 4 up, 4 down against Daly. Total opposite happened to his opponent, Michael Zelko. He allowed the first 4 men to reach consecutively as Llewellyn pops up the first pitch on the right side of the infield. Playable for Eric Maffey. The first baseman makes the grab. 2 away. Quick start. 2 outs on the first 4 pitches. Let's see if Daly's got another 1-2-3 in him. He'll go up against the designated batter, Ethan Ascorba. Ascorba, a right-handed hitter. One of the many freshmen in the lineup today for Trinity. Pokes the first pitch foul into the St. Francis dugout. Nice catch. Made by one of the Saints down in the dugout. It's 0-1. Ascorba's hitting .351 this year. A homer, 13 RBIs. He takes a ball to even the count. If he reaches, Luis Henriquez bats next. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. Ryan Daly, not a big strikeout pitcher. Did get 1 in the first inning. So he's trying for his second strikeout of the game right here. Righty to righty, the 1-2. Tapper right back to the pitcher. Daly hunches over, grabs it, and tosses to first. His second assist of the inning. And a really easy second inning for Daly and company. 3 men come up. Each of them fails to hit it out of the infield. We head to the bottom of the second inning. 4-0, St. Francis leads. Bottom 2, all home teams so far. St. Francis off to a dominant start. They lead 4-0. Could be a lot worse for Trinity at the moment. Saints loaded the bases with 2 outs in the bottom of the first. Could not add to the 4 runs they already had on the board. John McGuire leads off. He scored one of those runs in the first. He takes strike 1 here. McGuire hit a pop-up double. Not really a pop-up. It was a fly ball. It was relatively deep center, but it was very much a routine play for Brady Popovich. That ball is lined into center field in front of Popovich, who plays it on a couple of bounces. A single this time for McGuire. He's got 2 hits already in the game, and the leadoff man reaches. So McGuire has twice hit the ball right in front of Brady Popovich today. Very different circumstances, though. The first time, like I said, a routine play. Popovich lost it in the sun, dropped right in front of him. And McGuire got a double out of it. This time he gets one less than that. It's just a single, but this time it's on a sharp line drive. Throw to first sends the runner back diving in. John McGuire at first. Eric Maffey is the batter. Maffey is on a tear. It's up to 17 RBIs for the season now. 8 of them, including one today, have come in his last 3 games. Ball in the dirt. And it starts off with a 1-0 count on Maffey. A little bit of action down in the Trinity International bullpen right now. After all that went down in the first inning, Zelko's spot in the game was never in question. They did not warm anybody up. There's a called strike. It's 1-1. But immediately after the leadoff single here in the second inning, they do. We're still very early in this game, but Daly is off to such a good start that Trinity really does have to be wary about falling behind any further. It could be disastrous. Man warming up at the bullpen right now is freshman Jacob Ferguson. So yet another freshman might be called on to relieve this fellow freshman pitcher as Maffey flies it deep the other way, chasing Lazaris all the way back to the track. Lazaris trying to make the over-the-shoulder catch, but it lands just out of his reach on the warning track. McGuire heads to third. Maffey's got himself a double. Back-to-back hits open up this second inning. 2 on, nobody out. Another big hit for Eric Maffey. He's got 2 now for the ball game. He's raised his batting average 50 points in the last week. We're early enough in the season that you can do that sort of thing, but still, it's impressive the way that he's been swinging the bat these last few games. So he and McGuire are both 2 for 2, each with a single and a double. Lasota also doubled his first time up, so if he wants to join the crowd, 2 for 2 with a single and a double, might want to drive a few runs in with a base hit here. Lasota's already got 2 RBIs today as he takes ball 1 outside. Lasota, the catcher for St. Francis, put a good swing on one in the first inning, gapped it in left center. Senior catcher takes up high, 2-0. Long day so far for Zelko. Lasota hits it in the air right field. This will be deep enough, one would think, to score a run. Lazaris moves over towards the line to make the catch. McGuire comes in from third and crosses the plate. Maffey tags from second and moves to third. It's a sacrifice fly for Jake Lasota, who's got 3 RBIs in the ball game. And that makes it a 5-0 St. Francis lead. Give Lasota now 16 runs batted in for the season. And the Saints still have a man at third base with only 1 out. Here's Scott Tumulty. He's 0 for 1 with a ground out. Infield is in with a runner at third base. Not all the way in, but a little bit in front of the baselines. Tumulty takes ball 1 low. It's Maffey who is the runner at third base. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Long day so far for Zelko. He's already over 40 pitches for the game. He's recorded only 4 outs so far. 7 hits already for St. Francis. They've had 10 total base runners. There's a fly ball out to deep right field. Lazaris all the way back to the track, and it's gone. A 2-run shot for Scott Tumulty. And the lead is extended for St. Francis. Make it 7-0 now on the home run. Scott Tumulty has joined the hit parade with his first of the game. That is his third home run this season. RBIs number 9 and 10. And the Saints are running away here early on. Still just 4 outs into the game. They're up 7-0. Here's the right fielder, Gio Pappas. He's 1 for 1 with an infield single that scored a run back in the first inning. He takes strike 1 over the outer edge. Eight hits, 11 total base runners for St. Francis. 11 base runners and just 4 outs recorded. One of those outs came on a caught stealing. That ball is taken up high. The count goes to 1-1. It was this guy right here, Gio Pappas, who reached on the infield single in the first inning. A couple of pitches later was caught trying to steal second base. So only 3 batters have been retired. And 11 have reached. Line drive up the middle and through for a hit. Diving effort from the shortstop Luis Enriquez, but just out of his range. Second hit of the game for Gio Pappas. He's 2 for 2. 4th hit already this inning for St. Francis. The batter is Alex Martinez. Jacob Ferguson continues to throw in the bullpen. He may be needed sooner rather than later. Michael Zelko continues to struggle significantly. Martinez drew a walk in the first innings. He takes a ball low here. A lot went on to start the game. The first 4 batters reached, and it was 4-0 in the blink of an eye. And then after the Gio Pappas caught stealing, Alex Martinez was in the box with 2 outs and nobody on. Looked like Zelko was going to be able to stop the bleeding. Strike called, 1-1. And then all of a sudden he walked Martinez. He didn't have control problems earlier in the inning, but then suddenly the walk to Martinez, he hit Luke Ketchum on a 3-1 pitch. Then a Jake Vera single loaded the bases. They had a chance to break it wide open early. Didn't happen in the first. It has here in the second as Martinez flies it into center field. Put away by Brady Popovich for out number 2. Gio Pappas returns to first base. Saints are down to their final out of the second inning.
Center fielder number 20.
Last hope is Luke Ketchum. Ketchum, as I mentioned, was hit by a pitch his first time up. Gio Pappas is at first base. So we're not yet through the end of the second inning, and already every St. Francis hitter has reached base at least once. Fouled off by Luke Ketchum for strike 1. In the first inning, one of the 4 runs was unearned. Here in the second, they've all been earned. So 6 out of the 7 have been credited to the pitcher. Throw over to first base to check on Pappas. Back in, standing up. Remember, Gio Pappas tried to steal second base last time he was on. He's 2 for 4 in stolen base attempts for the year. High fly hit out to left field by Luke Ketchum, chasing Schultzenhofer back, and he makes the catch to end the inning. 3 runs scored for St. Francis, 2 of them on the big home run from Scott Tumulty. And as we have played 2 full innings here in Joliet, our score has expanded 7-0. St. Francis is on top. 7 runs on 9 hits for St. Francis through 2 innings of offense. Trinity International is just looking for a base runner. Their first 6 batters have been retired. Luis Enriquez leads off the third and pops it up on the infield. John McGuire shields his eyes from the sun and makes the catch. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the top of the third. Last 4 outs have been recorded on a grand total of 9 pitches by Ryan Daly, and that certainly hasn't helped Michael Zelko out any. The fact that after struggling in the first, he had to come back out for the second inning just about 3 minutes later, thanks to the quick work by Daly. Now Daly's trying to do it again as Jackson Schulzenhofer checks his swing and takes first pitch strike. Schulzenhofer, the left fielder, is hitting .200 this year. He's 3 for 15 at the plate. He takes a ball low and in, 1-1. All 3 of his hits have been singles. He today makes his 7th start of the year, grounds the ball over to second base. McGuire throws to first, 2 down. Another quick out recorded by Daly. 8 up, 8 down against the St. Francis right-hander. Here's Brady Popovich. Popovich is a 194 hitter. 4 runs batted in. He takes ball 1 low. There's some big hitters in this Trojan lineup. We've heard they don't really come at the bottom of the order. The 3 guys to come up this inning: Enriquez, Schulzenhofer, and Popovich have all struggled at the plate. All 3 of them in limited action. Man on deck, though, is awfully dangerous. Blake Lazaris is a big hitter, one of the best in the conference. So Daly will try to retire Popovich here and get back to the top of the order in the 4th inning with nobody on base. It's 2-1 on Brady Popovich. He fouls the next pitch back, 2-2. The Trojans are down to their final strike this inning. Daly has 1 strikeout so far today. He got Lazaris swinging to begin the ball game. Since then, he's gone to 2 on a lot of hitters. Hasn't finished them off, at least not in that way. Ball outside, full count. I can't say he hasn't finished them off. He's retired everybody. Just hasn't been on strikes. There's a bouncing ball to the third baseman. Tough play for Martinez, barehanded. The throw to first is not in time. It's an infield single. And the first hit of the game, the first base runner of the game for Trinity. Brady Popovich is aboard. It's his 8th hit this year. And just a dribbler down the third base line. Martinez played it well. He charged and barehanded it, but ultimately just didn't have a play. Lazaris swings and misses for strike 1. He struck out swinging in the first inning, the only strikeout victim of Daly's so far today, and that is the one blemish on his resume, the strikeout totals. Line shot, played on 1 hop by the shortstop Carraro. He throws to second, gets the force, and ends the inning. So Lazaris is 0 for 2. Trinity is 0 for 3, as they have not scored in any of the first 3 innings. St. Francis is up big as we head to the bottom of the third. They'll try to add to a 7-0 lead. Bottom of the third inning, St. Francis has a big early lead, and they look to extend it as they come up to bat with their 9-1-2 hitters against a new Trinity pitcher. Jake Vera leads things off. Left-handed hitting left fielder, bunts it down the first base line. Jacob Ferguson gets an early chance defensively and throws over to first in order to get the out. Nice play by Ferguson. 1 up, 1 down. So Vera is retired. 1-3. And now I can tell you about the new pitcher, Jacob Ferguson. Already 1 out into this game. Ferguson is appearing for the 5th time this year. It's his 3rd relief appearance. He's 1-1 with an even 9 ERA. In 17 innings pitched coming in, he's allowed 27 runs, 17 of them earned on 29 hits. He has struck out 6, and he's walked 3 so far this year. And see a lot of low numbers in the strikeout and walk categories up and down this Trinity International roster. Not a ton of strikeout guys, but they're not putting too many on for free in general, although he's in some trouble here against Noah Carrara with a 2-0 count. But generally, pitchers on both of these teams, St. Francis and Trinity International, are looking for contact. There's some contact right back to the pitcher, and Ferguson makes a nice grab for out number 2. Ferguson has been tested since coming in. 2 batters, both have hit the ball right back to him, and both have been tough plays for very different reasons. The first time, the little dribbler on the bunt, he had to pounce off the mound and grab that ball to throw out the batter at first base. On that one, a line shot right back to him. Stuck his glove out and on a quick reaction time was able to make the nice grab. Ball 1 on John McGuire, who's 2 for 2 today. McGuire has singled, doubled, and scored both times around. It's the 3rd inning, already his 3rd at bat. He grounds it inside the third base bag and down into the left field corner. Another base hit for McGuire. He'll turn this into at least 2 as Schultzenhofer has some trouble getting it out of the corner. He does hold McGuire to a double. 2nd double of the game for McGuire. His 3rd hit overall. And after Ferguson succeeded in getting back-to-back quick outs, he's going to have to work his way through the 3rd inning after all. Already 10 hits in the ball game for St. Francis. They came into today's ball game hitting .264 as a team. Even that number has dramatically gone up after just the last couple of games. They've been around the 240 to 250 mark for most of the year so far. But obviously their offense is starting to gain some steam as Eric Maffey takes strike 1. Part of it is the competition. They face some really difficult early season competition. The last few days they've been facing teams in the bottom half of the CCAC, but that's what you're supposed to do. Build up some stats against struggling pitching staffs. Maffey takes the ball outside. Speaking of building up the stats, Maffey's are jumping off the page over the last couple of games. 2 for 2 today. 2 runs and another RBI. One and 1 count. Big swing and a miss. It's 1-2. So the Fighting Saints are down to their final swing of the 3rd inning. See if they can make it a perfect 3 for 3 in terms of scoring. 4 runs in the first, 3 in the second. None so far here in the 3rd as Maffey takes a ball up and in, 2-2. And in fact, Ferguson appeared to be on his way to putting up an easy 0 on the board. Getting back-to-back outs, but after that hard hit double just inside the third base line, hit by John McGuire, Ferguson finds himself in a spot of difficulty here. The 2-2. Bouncing ball down the third base line, this time just foul, and the count remains 2-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, a runner at second. St. Francis has a 7-0 lead. Thirteen base runners so far in the game for the Saints, just 1 for the Trojans. 2-2. Up and in, ball 3. Ferguson got ahead of Maffey, but now the count has gone full. Jake Lasota stands on deck. Maffey's been one of the tougher guys around to retire lately. Trying to keep that reputation right here. Checks his swing. Did he go around? He did not. That's ball 4 in the dirt. And the first walk issued by Ferguson. 2 on now with 2 outs. And it's Jake Lesota's turn to do the hitting. After Eric Maffey's first inning RBI single, I said that Maffey had a pretty hefty lead on the rest of his team in terms of the RBI count. Well, all of a sudden, Lesota's only 1 behind him now, 17-16, as he's already got 3 today. And he can pass Maffey up with a base hit right here. He chases one outside the zone for strike 1. Lesota is 1 for 1 officially. Brought home 2 runs on a double in the first inning and later scored himself. In the second inning, brought home a run on a sacrifice fly. Line drive past the first baseman on the dive and out into right field. John McGuire comes in to score. Maffey is being waved around third base as the throw comes into second. And as the ball gets away at second base, Maffey scores with ease. Lesota brings home 2 more runs, and it's 9-0. And now Jake Lesota is the team's RBI leader. He's got 5 in the game. Credit to Eric Maffey and Brian Mahalik over at third base in the coach's box, waving him around, recognizing that that throw from Seth Llewellyn was coming into second base. Had he brought that throw home, might have been a different story in terms of Maffey scoring or even trying to score. But because the throw came into second, he never slowed down, scored easily. And Scott Tumulty will come up with a runner at second base. 2 outs and 2 more runs in. Pinch runner at second base. Looks like John Peterson is out there. For the second time today. 0-1 on Tumulty. Ferguson, who got 2 quick outs before letting 3 straight men reach. Misses outside. The count goes to 1-1. Tough play for the first baseman, Seth Llewellyn, on that last one. The ball was just barely inside the line. Second hit this inning that has barely stayed fair. I'm not sure if it hit the bag or right around the bag. Took a weird bounce. Tumulty takes a ball inside that gets away from the catcher and allows Peterson to advance to third base. Johnson tracks it down, keeps Peterson to just the 1 bag. 2-1 the count. Runner now at third with 2 outs. And that ball from Lesota, though, took that tough hop, and Llewellyn tried to make a diving play on it. It just kind of skipped right over his glove. It's difficult all around. Strike over the outside corner. It's 2-2. The Saints scored 4 in the first, 3 in the second, 2 so far here in the third. Good chunk of their offense has come with 2 outs as Tumulty swings and misses for strike 3. Now there are 3 outs, so the offense is done for the third. But those 2 runs do score thanks to a walk and a couple of big hits for St. Francis just inside the baselines. We'll head to the 4th inning, 9-0 in favor of the home team. Ryan Daly back out to the mound, quickly ready to go. And he'll face Riley Eddington to start his 4th inning of work. Eddington takes ball 1. Eddington, and Johnson That's who's due up this inning. 2, 3, and 4 for Shane Gardner's team. Swing and a miss. That evens the count at 1. Riley Eddington is 0 for 1 in today's game. He grounded out to second base back in the first inning. A perfect first inning for Daly. He was perfect in both the first and the second innings. Strike over the outside corner, 1-2. Just an infield single. That's the only offense for Trinity International today. Brady Pavlovich, the one man to reach base, as Eddington grounds it to his counterpart at second base. McGuire throws him out, 1 away. Popovich, after that single, was retired on a fielder's choice just a few moments later, 2 pitches later. So, not too many guys have spent much time on base. Nobody really has spent much time on base so far for Trinity. And Samuel Eddington bats for the second time. Very young team. Talked about all the freshmen who are out there. They do have a lot of offensive firepower. Samuel Eddington, one of those guys with some big offensive numbers. He takes strike 1. So even though this one has been dominated by St. Francis so far, don't rule out a good run at some point from Trinity International. That one's bounced foul. 0-2. Eddington hitting .340. On base percentage better than .400 for the season. Doesn't hit for a lot of power, but he finds his way on. Ball outside. 1-2. Blake Lazaris, Ethan Scorba, they're all hitting better than .350. There's a pop-up into right. Nice grab by John McGuire as he's able to make the grab going back towards right center field, reaching over his shoulder to put away Samuel Eddington. Beautiful grab for the second out of the inning. So the defense has showed up for St. Francis today as well. They haven't really been challenged so far, but we've seen the offense, obviously. The score speaks for itself there. We've seen the pitching. Daly's been brilliant. And now the defense has arrived as well. Popped out a play by Andrew Johnson for strike 1. Johnson is 0 for 1 with a ground out. He tapped back to the pitcher in the second inning. Ball 1 to even the count. Daly's retired 3 in a row, 11 of the first 12. Chopper left side. Martinez, the third baseman, gloves it. His throw to first bounces into the glove of Eric Maffey for out number 3. Another 1-2-3 inning. 3 out of 4 have been perfect so far from Daly. We'll head to the bottom of the fourth inning, 9-0, St. Francis. 9-0 St. Francis in the bottom of the fourth inning. 6, 7, and 8 due up for the Fighting Saints. They'll get their first look each at Jacob Ferguson, who's in his second inning of work. Ferguson's first pitch paints the outside corner for strike one. Gio Pappas is 2 for 2 today. Singled in the first, an RBI on that at bat. Singled again in the second. He hits a sharp grounder, this time though right at the shortstop. Gathered by Luis Henriquez, the throw to first is just in time. Close play at first base. The leadoff batter is retired for the second straight inning. That one was closer than it looked like it was going to be off the bat though. Pappas really made it a tight play at first base. One down, and here's Alex Martinez. Martinez is 0 for 1. Flew out to center field his last time up. He walked back in the first. Martinez takes strike one. Alex Martinez, a .234 hitter coming in with a .429 on base percentage. Takes a ball low and away, 1-1. He came in with 14 walks on the season. Nobody else had more than 9. He's taken another one today, so he's up to 15 drawn in just 16 games started this year. Ball low and outside, 2-1. Eric Maffey has also walked today, so he's moved into double digits with 10. He ranked second on the team. Martinez skies this ball out to left center field. Long run back for Schultzenhofer, but he's able to get to the spot and make the grab 2 away. For the second consecutive inning, first two St. Francis batters are retired. Jacob Ferguson has had no problem with that. The problem is getting the third man. At least that was the problem in the third. After retiring Vera and Carraro back-to-back, McGuire doubled, Maffey walked, and Lasota doubled them both in. Here's Luke Ketchum trying to keep this inning alive. Ketchum rips it to the left side. Nice sliding stop in the hole. Long throw, Henriquez, not nearly in time. And it's an infield hit for Luke Ketchum. Nice play by Henriquez. Couldn't have played it any better than he did. But no chance to get the speedy Ketchum at first base. The way that play developed, it would have been tough to get a slow runner. Ketchum is not that. Here's Jake Vera. Vera's 1 for 2 today. He's seen just 2 pitches total. He's got a single and a ground out. He bunted his last time up. This time he swings away on the first pitch. Hits it a mile high into right field. Blake Lazarus is able to shield the sun from his eyes and make the grab to end the inning. Quick fourth inning for Jacob Ferguson, and the first 0 on the scoreboard today for a Trinity International pitcher. We'll head to the 5th. All St. Francis so far, they lead 9-0. Four innings down, 5 still to play. And so far, this game has been dominated by St. Francis, who's got a 9-0 lead. As Seth Llewellyn fouls the first pitch to the backstop for strike one. Ryan Daly has allowed just 1 base runner through 4 innings. That was on an infield single for Brady Popovich. Back in the third, there's a ball outside. It's 1-1 on Llewellyn, who popped out to first base his first time up. Seth Llewellyn's a .308 hitter with 10 RBIs this year. He lines it into right field. A well-struck base hit for Seth Llewellyn. The leadoff man is on for the first time today. Llewellyn is 1 for 2. And that brings up the designated hitter, Ethan Ascorba.
Designated hitter number 29, Ethan Ascorba.
Ascorba swings to the first pitch, grounds it to third. Martinez cuts it off, throws to second for the force. McGuire's relay is in time, double play. And that's the way things have gone so far today for Trinity International. Every time they've gotten a man on base, he's been immediately eliminated on a ground out. And there are 2 down now with the bases empty. Just 1 pitch after the first solid hit of the game for a Trojan batter. So here's Enriquez. Luis Enriquez, the shortstop, takes a ball high. He popped out to the second baseman his first time up. Ball up and away, 2-0. Daly looking for another inning in which he faces the minimum, but he's fallen behind Henriquez now, 3 balls and no strikes. This is just the third 3-ball count of the game for a Trinity International batter. Henriquez watches one go right down the pike for strike 1. Luis Enriquez, just 5'6", 150 pounds from the Dominican Republic, stands right on top of the plate. Swings and misses, and the count goes full. He's played a sharp shortstop so far today. Now trying to work his way on base for the first time. Payoff pitch. Strike 3 called over the outside corner. Henriquez goes down looking. And Ryan Daly has his second strikeout of the game. Another pretty clean inning from Daly, a rare base runner against him, but he was erased just 1 pitch later on a double play, and we've reached the halfway point of this game with St. Francis in control. They're ahead 9-0. We're into the bottom of the 5th inning. 9-0 lead for the Fighting Saints of St. Francis. And Trinity International has called on a new pitcher here. Third pitcher of the game for Shane Gardner's club. It's Joseph Placencia, who throws a first pitch strike to Noah Carraro. Placencia, a freshman, on for the fourth time this year. He has no record, a 2.45 earned run average. His 0-1 pitch floats in for a strike. It's 0-2. In 3 2/3 innings, Placencia has allowed 2 runs, one of them earned on 2 hits. He's walked 6 and struck out 2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Very impressive in that at bat against Noah Carraro. 3 pitches, 1 out. Looked like he might have been floating up a knuckleball. Certainly a slow off speed pitch for sure. And then he sped Carraro up on 0-2. Got him to chase one outside. Here's John McGuire. McGuire takes ball 1, low and outside. McGuire's 3 for 3, a single and 2 doubles. He has scored every time he's been on. Takes high here, 2-0. Jacob Ferguson pitched the last 2 innings for Trinity International, and he was decent, save for a brief stretch against McGuire, Maffey, and Lesota. There's a weak ground ball right back to the pitcher. Placencia tosses over to first, 2 down. In Ferguson's 2 innings pitched, he allowed 2 runs, both earned on 3 hits and 1 walk. Didn't strike anybody out.
First baseman number 10, Eric Maffey.
He allowed 3 guys to reach in a row, and that's what let 2 runs score in the 3rd inning. Other than that, he was sharp, and he really settled things down after a disastrous start to today's game for Trinity. Here's Eric Maffey, who has not been retired yet. He drives the first pitch into left center field and finds the gap. Another big hit for Eric Maffey. He's now 4 for 4 in terms of reaching base today. His 3rd hit of the game is a double. A 2-out double for St. Francis. Now that John McGuire has grounded out this inning, Maffey is the only man left who has reached base every time up. He's got 2 doubles in the game. And he's scored every time he's been on today. Jake Lesota has cleaned up. He's literally the cleanup hitter. He's batting 4th in the order, but it has been very much true to its name today. Every time he's come up, there have been men in scoring position, and every time he's delivered. 5 RBIs already in the game for Lesota. Takes a ball inside. Batting this time with 2 outs and a runner at second. So as far as runners in scoring position at bats come, this is the hardest one to pick up an RBI in, but Lesota would like to drive in number 6 right here with Maffey over at second. Placencia trying to make it back-to-back scoreless innings for TIU pitchers. Line shot left side. That's a fair ball. Just inside the line. Another RBI hit for Jake Lesota. Maffey crosses the plate to make it a 10-run game, and Lesota has his 3rd double of the game. 10-0 St. Francis. Jake Lesota's got 6 of the RBIs. He and Maffey have been an incredible combination today. Maffey keeps getting on. Lesota keeps bringing him home. Peterson will run at second base once again as Scott Tumulty comes in. 1 for 3 in the game. His 1 hit was a biggie. 2-run home run out to right field. The only homer today for either side. Ball outside, 1-0. I guess it's obvious that Trinity doesn't have one. They don't have any runs yet, but St. Francis has put up their 10 runs on just the 1 homer. A whole lot of doubles. McGuire's got 2 of them. Maffey's got 2 of them. And now Lesota has 3 doubles in the game. That's just your 2, 3, and 4 hitters right there. They've combined for 7 doubles. Tumulty taps it foul off of his foot. 1-1. Overall in the game, 14 hits now for St. Francis. They've really controlled this one since the very beginning. You look back to that first inning, Ryan Daly came out and set the tone with a quick 1-2-3 inning. Then the offense came out and sent 10 batters to the plate, scored 4 runs on 5 hits. Also took advantage of a couple of defensive miscues by Trinity. Defense has been cleaner for the Trojans since the first inning as Tumulty takes a ball downstairs, 2-1. But again, that first inning set the tone for the game. And St. Francis was in control really in all three phases, pitching, hitting, and defense. Two 1 pitch from Placencia. Chopped foul. It's 2-2. This is the third consecutive inning in which a Trinity pitcher has recorded outs on the first two at-bats of the inning, but failed to make it 1-2-3. The fourth is the only scoreless frame of the game. 2-2. Just missed for ball 3. The count goes full. Gio Pappas waits on deck, but Placencia is trying to get out of this inning and send us into the sixth with the deficit still at 10 runs. The payoff pitch, line to the right side and right at the second baseman Riley Eddington, who makes the catch to retire the side. One more run scores thanks to back-to-back two-out doubles from Eric Maffey, and Jake Lasota will head into the sixth. It's St. Francis 10, Trinity International nothing. Nothing St. Francis as we move into the sixth inning. 8-9-1 due up for the Trojans, and the first pitch from Ryan Daly is a strike on Schulzenhofer. Jackson Schulzenhofer is 0 for 1 with a ground out today. He hits this one in the air, shallow left field. Stepping in and making the grab is Jake Vera, 1 away. Leadoff batter retired for the fifth time in 6 innings. And here's the number 9 batter, Brady Popovich. Popovich is one of only 2 Trojans with a hit today. He had an infield single in the third. Seth Llewellyn picked up a base hit back in the 5th inning. First pitch swinging, it's popped up into foul ground right side. Eric Maffey over in front of the St. Francis dugout, and it's off his glove. So it'll go as a no play, maybe an error on Maffey. Strike 1, regardless, it is a foul ball. So 0-1 on Popovich. I think Maffey misjudged how much room he had before reaching the dugout there. He stuck his arm out and tried to lean over to make the catch when he really had room to take another step or two and get under that ball. Strike called on Popovich. 0-2. 1 out, nobody on. The 0-2 pitch. Brady Popovich fouls it back. Still 0-2. Ryan Daly, I mentioned coming in, is a man who likes to pitch to contact. He came in with just 4 walks and 3 strikeouts all year in 17 1/3 innings. It's been true to that today. Just 2 strikeouts, no walks. There's a bouncer back to the mound. Daly reaches to his right, gloves it, steps back to his left, and throws out Popovich at first base. 2 up, 2 down in the 6th. Popovich is retired for the first time today. And Ryan Daly will aim for his 4th 1-2-3 inning of the game. He's faced just 1 over the minimum so far through 5 2/3. Here's Blake Lazaris. Big swing and a miss, strike 1. On paper, Lazaris is the toughest out in this lineup. Just incredible numbers coming in. .530 on base percentage, .754 slugging. He has 11 extra base hits in just 13 games started. He takes a ball low and away, 1-1. Easily one of the best hitters in the conference so far this season, but today he's gone down meekly twice. Strikeout and a ground out in 2 at-bats, and he pops this ball into right field. Looks to be a routine play for Gio Pappas. It is. He puts it away, and the inning is over. Another 1-2-3 frame worked by Ryan Daly. He's faced just one over the minimum through 6 innings. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. 10-0 St. Francis. Bottom 6, 10-0 St. Francis leads Trinity International. New pitcher once again for the Trojans. It's their 4th pitcher of the game after Joseph Placencia tossed a 1-run 5th inning. The new man for the 6th is left-hander Blake Bruce. Bruce will face Gio Pappas, Alex Martinez, and Luke Ketchum. Pappas is 2 for 3 today with a couple of singles and a ground out. The right-handed hitting outfielder facing a lefty for the first time takes a ball low and in, 1-0. Bruce is listed on Trinity's roster as a pitcher and an outfielder, pitcher/outfielder. He spent more time as an offensive player than he has as a pitcher this year. 231 average in 13 games. Ball high, 2-0. This is just his 2nd time on the mound. In his first outing, he went 2 innings and allowed 1 hit and 2 walks, but no runs. He had 1 strikeout in that first game. Pitched out of a bases-loaded jam to keep his ERA pristine. 2-0. Grounded foul, left side. It's 2-1 on Gio Pappas. So the starting pitcher today, Michael Zelko, allowed 7 runs, 6 of them earned over 2 innings. And then it was Jacob Ferguson who went 2 innings. He allowed 2 runs. Both of those were earned. Joseph Placencia allowed 1 run in the 5th inning. Now Gio Pappas sends one deep out to center field. on Blake Bruce and drops it over the head of Brady Popovich. Pappas heads to second base, and he's got himself a leadoff double. Double number 8 of the ball game for the University of St. Francis. Their team slugging percentage is going to go through the roof after today. They've got 8 doubles, a home run, and 6 singles as well as Alex Martinez comes up. Their team slugging coming in case you were wondering, I was, is 384. I bet it's over 400 by the end of the day. Alex Martinez is 0 for 2 with a walk. Saints have not only outscored Trinity 10-0, they've outhit them 15-2. Strike one called on Alex Martinez. Martinez walked back in the first inning. He doesn't have a hit yet today, but he's reached base. Everybody in the lineup has. In fact, that was true by the end of the second inning. Everybody had reached base at least once. Ball high, 1-1. Eric Maffey has reached base 4 times. John McGuire, Jake Lasota 3 times each. And now Gio Pappas, you can add to that list as well. He just picked up his 3rd hit, standing over at second base. Swing and a miss, a big cut from Martinez. Chased one up high. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2. Lefty to righty. Up high, 2-2. It's the first meeting of the year between St. Francis and Trinity International. They'll see each other again very soon. Next week, they'll be up in Deerfield, fighting Saints, that is. Well, Trojans will be there too, but they usually are. It's their home. Low and in for a ball. 3-2. Mentioned earlier, this game was originally scheduled for late in the season, the last week of the year, but it was moved up to today, and it worked out for both of these teams because they didn't have any action this weekend. It was too cold. So both teams had games canceled. For Trinity International, it's a very busy week. They've got Calumet coming up on Wednesday. And then back to it on Friday. St. Francis, after today, is going to have just 1 game on Wednesday and then the 2 on Friday. Or the 1 on Friday, I should say. 2 on Saturday, so just 2 games between now and Saturday. 1 on Wednesday, 1 on Friday. That Friday game will be here against Roosevelt. Payoff pitch is up and away, ball 4. Second time today that Alex Martinez has walked. A very patient hitter. I gave you some of the numbers earlier today on his walks. That's number 16 now of the season. This is just the 16th game he's started this year. Not hitting for a real high average, but he is among the team leaders in on-base percentage. Coming into play today, didn't have enough plate appearances to qualify, but he would be leading the team in on-base percentage if he did. Luke Ketchum is 1 for 2 with a single. He's been on base twice because he was hit by a pitch back in the first inning. He swings the first one here and grounds it foul for strike 1. St. Francis trying to make quick work of Trinity International today. They scored 4 runs in the first, 3 in the second, 2 in the third. That scoreboard would look a lot cooler if you could just flip around the 4th and 5th innings. Went 4-3-2-1-0, but the last 4-3-2-0-1. So maybe they're back on the upswing now this inning. Ball up high. It's 1-1. Yeah, after those first 3 innings, I was so certain they were going to get 1 run in the 4th, but they're not as concerned with patterns as I am, I guess. Players on the field have other things on their mind, apparently. Who would have thunk it? 2 on with nobody out. It's 1-1 on Luke Ketchum. He takes high for a ball, 2-1. Blake Bruce running into some of the same problems he ran into the first time he was out there this season. 3 walks now in just 2+ innings pitched this season. He has not yet allowed a run, but now has given up 5 base runners in 2 innings. Swing and a miss, 2-2. You give up that many base runners, the dam tends to burst at some point. I don't know if it's going to be right now or if it's going to be today, but the bill comes due eventually. Bruce trying to settle back in. There's a fly ball into right center field looking for the gap, and it finds it. Ketchum's got himself a hit. Gio Pappas comes around to score. Here comes Alex Martinez. No problem for him crossing the plate. Ketchum slides into third. Another extra base hit for the Fighting Saints. This is their first triple of the ball game. And it makes the score 12-0. Luke Ketchum drives in runs number 10 and 11 this season. That's his team high second triple. And Blake Bruce will get some company out on the mound. Shane Gardner's in his second full season as the head coach of the Trinity International Baseball Program. It is his third full year as their head coach, but first year was cut short by the coronavirus back in 2020. Still, he had that full year of recruiting and being in charge of the program, so it is his third year, as I said, even though it's only his second full season. He's made his 4th pitching change of the game. Zelko went 2, Ferguson went 2, Placencia 1. Blake Bruce was unable to record an out against the 3 batters he faced. And we'll get a new pitcher here. I'll tell you about the new pitcher in just a moment. I'll take a quick break. 12-0. St. Francis leads in the bottom of the 6th. Nothing. St. Francis over Trinity International in the bottom of the 6th inning. The Trojans have made a move to their 5th different pitcher today. It is their designated hitter, who no longer is the designated hitter. Now he's the pitcher. Right-hander Ethan Ascorba. Ascorba, like Blake Bruce before him, is listed on the roster as a two-way player, but has spent a lot more time as a hitter than he has a pitcher. This is just his second appearance of the season as well. As his first pitch to Jake Vera. It's taken high for ball 1. That's the first pitch that Vera has taken today. In 3 at-bats, he had put the ball in play on the first pitch each time. He shoots this one into center field, backing up and fielding it in shallow center is the shortstop Henriquez. Henriquez throws Vera out at first base, but the run comes in to score from third. And it's now a 13-0 St. Francis lead. So Vera has himself an RBI. Ketchum scores. And we're back to the top of the order. We've got a pinch hitter here at the top of the order. Noah Carraro will be replaced here by Alex Milcars. Alex Milcars The reserve infielder, freshman, is 0 for 7 so far this season at the plate. That's from the right side, and the first pitch to him is taken for strike one. Numbers on Ethan Ascorba, by the way. In his first appearance, he went 1 inning, allowed 1 run on 2 hits with 1 strikeout and no walks. He misses high on Milkars, and the count is 1-1. Three more runs are in this inning, and all of them have been charged to Blake Bruce. He allowed a double, a triple, and a walk, and then was removed just 3 batters in. Big swing and a miss from Milkars. The count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Milkars has walked once this year. He's been hit by a pitch. This is his 10th plate appearance of the season. 1-2. Fly ball into right center field, and that ball finds some green space. A base hit for Milkars. It splits the gap and rolls close to the warning track. Alex Milkars heads to second base with a double. Double number 9 today for St. Francis. And Alex Milkars has his first hit. That's number 17 of the game for the Fighting Saints. And they'll bring up another pinch hitter, John Peterson, who has been seen on the base paths a lot today. He's been the designated pinch runner for Jake Lasota. I mean, he's gotten a lot of action because Lasota's got 3 doubles. But now Peterson gets a chance to hit. John Peterson, the senior infielder, stands in the right-hand batter's box and awaits the first pitch. He's a 195 batter this year. He takes strike 1. He's gotten a fair amount of batting time this season, although primarily used as a pinch runner. He's had 41 at-bats, 8 hits in those 41 at-bats, and 5 RBIs. He'll try to drive in Milkars from second base here. The 0-1. Tapped foul. It's 0-2. Just 1 out in the inning. Again, the first 3 batters all reached and then scored off of Blake Bruce, whose ERA was 0 coming in. That's going to skyrocket after this one. Ascorba came out of the bullpen. He got the ground out and gave up the double, and now this is the 3rd batter that he's faced. He's ahead of Peterson 0-2. Popped up, right side, shallow. Lazarus comes in towards the line, still running. He dives, and he can't get to it, but it drops foul just beyond the line. And Peterson will head back to the batter's box. A break for Trinity International. Lazarus gave it his all there. Tough day to field out and right. And I'm basing that just on the fielder's reactions every time the ball has been hit out there. The sun seems to be causing a lot of problems, and Lazarus had his hands up, covering his eyes the whole way as he chased that one in and dove for the ball at the last second. He located it well enough. Not as fast as he would have liked to have gotten there, but as he dove for it, he just missed it, and it dropped out of his reach, but inches wide of the line as well. Peterson takes the ball. It's 1-2. One out here in the bottom of the 6th. Indeed, the score has started to go back in the other direction. Saints went less and less every inning, and now it's getting to be more and more again. Fouled away. Fewer and fewer runs, that is. 4-3-2-0-1-2. This may be their last offensive inning of the game, depending on how things shake out. Still 1-2. Lengthy at bat for Peterson. He pops another one to the right side. Again towards the line. Again a long run in for Lazarus into foul territory. This time he makes a nice running catch as he leaps into the crowd. The lawn area out in right field. Good base running by Alex Milkars. He tags from second and heads to third base on the foul out. 2 outs in the inning now, and Eric Maffey will come up. Great catch right there by Lazarus, and he has had a tough time in right field. It's been a tough day for all of the outfielders on a very sunny day. Although, trust me, they're grateful for the sun on a day in which the temperature has struggled to reach 40 degrees. That was a great grab, leaping over the railing as he made the catch on the run to make sure he didn't injure his knees. So Milkars is at third. There are 2 outs in the inning. 3 runs are in here. I had it at 2 a minute ago, but 3 runs have scored this inning. And now Eric Maffey's day is done. It'll be Jonathan Wolf. Wolf swings at the first pitch and flies it into right center. Another long run for Lazarus. He gets there and makes the grab. Lazarus was all over the place that inning. He makes the final 2 catches, and St. Francis is out in the 6th. They leave a man at third, but they score 3 times on 3 extra base hits. We go to the 7th. It's 13-0. On to the 7th inning. Trinity International will get another chance to tighten this thing up and keep it going. It'll be Eddington, and Johnson do up this inning. Facing Ryan Daly back on the mound. He's been brilliant through 6. First pitch of this inning misses outside for ball 1 on Riley Eddington. Eddington is 0 for 2. He's grounded out to second base twice. He does so here. It'll be a different second baseman as this ball is popped up behind home plate, chased back towards the screen. That ball is out of play. Count is 1-1. We saw 3 straight players get pinch hit for last inning. Actually, I look around and I realize all the initial starters are back out there. Strike called on Eddington, 1 and 2. So it is McGuire at second. It's Carraro at short. Eric Maffey over at first base. All 3 men were pinch hit for last inning. Ground ball to the shortstop. Noah Carraro up with it. Throw to first base is low. Maffey's able to make the dig. 1 away. That's 6 straight retired by Daly. His game high is 8 straight set down. And he has faced just 1 over the minimum in 6 1/3 innings today. He has not had to break a sweat in this game. It has been completely in his control. And the fact that his offense has backed him up with 13 runs hasn't hurt matters any. Fouled off by Eddington for strike 1. This is Samuel Eddington now. He's 0 for 2. He grounded out to third base in the first inning, popped out to second in the 4th. John McGuire made a really nice over-the-shoulder grab on him. The 0-1 clips the outside corner, 0-2. Ryan Daly entered play today with the best ERA on the staff this season. Count remains 0-2 on Eddington. And he has done nothing but improve that today. He retired the first 8 batters of the game. He did so very efficiently. That ball is flown into center field. It's shallow. It's playable for Luke Ketchum, who comes on and makes the grab. 2 away. That was one of the harder hit balls all game. In fact, that is only the third time in this game. He's recorded 20 outs now. It's only the third time that a putout has been made by an outfielder. Everything else has been a strikeout, a ground out, or a pop out on the infield. He's only got 2 strikeouts. There's a high pop up. In foul ground on the infield. Playable for the catcher, Jake Lasota. Lasota makes the grab, and that'll do it today. 13-0, the final score. Ryan Daly and St. Francis knock off Trinity International in a 7-inning contest that they dominated from start to finish. Just a great overall showing for the Fighting Saints today. Scheduled to go 9, ends up a little bit short of that thanks to the offensive performance. They built the lead up to double digits in the 5th inning. And Trinity never threatened. In the entire game, they never got a man past first base, and only twice did they even get a man that far. Ryan Daly goes the distance, faces just 1 over the minimum. Gave up 2 singles, 1 to Brady Popovich, an infield hit in the 3rd inning. Popovich was retired 2 pitches later on a fielder's choice to end that inning. And then in the 5th, Seth Llewellyn picked up a leadoff single. Llewellyn was erased just 1 pitch later on a double play, and that's the extent of the Trinity offense today. As for St. Francis, the offense got going early, and they never slowed down very much. 4 runs in the 1st inning. They got a double from John McGuire. They got an RBI single from Eric Maffey and a big 2-run base hit from Jake Lasota. That was the first 2 of what would turn out to be 6 RBIs today for Lasota. It's worth mentioning that St. Francis got a little help as well in that 1st inning from the TIU defense, which misplayed a couple of balls, and that sort of opened the floodgates. But then St. Francis barged through once those gates were open. In the 2nd inning, they scored 3 more runs. McGuire singled, Maffey doubled. Lasota picked up a sacrifice fly, and then Scott Tumulty had a 2-run homer that made it 7-0. The rout was on. They added 2 more runs in the 3rd inning, courtesy of a 2-run double from Jake Lasota. Those were his 4th and 5th RBIs of the game. He got his 6th RBI in the 5th after a scoreless 4th inning, the only inning in which they did not score today. Back-to-back 2-out doubles in the 5th from Maffey and Lasota. The 2, 3, and 4 hitters today, McGuire, Maffey, and Lasota, combined to reach base 10 times. McGuire went 3 for 4 with 2 doubles and 3 runs scored. Maffey went 3 for 3 with a walk, 2 doubles, and an RBI. He scored 4 runs. Jake Lasota went 3 for 3 with a sacrifice fly, 3 doubles, and 6 RBIs. Saints added 3 more runs for good measure in the 6th inning thanks to a 2-run Luke Ketchum triple and then an RBI groundout from Jake Vera, and that made our final score 13-0. Our totals for today: Trinity International, no runs, 2 hits. They committed 1 error. St. Francis had 13 runs on 17 hits. No errors in this game committed by the Fighting Saints. The winning pitcher is Ryan Daly, who went the distance and faced just 1 batter over the minimum. A complete game shutout for Daly, who improves his record on the season to 2-2. The losing pitcher is the starter for Trinity International. Michael Zelko went 2 innings, allowed 7 runs, 6 of them earned, and he falls to 1-3 on the season. The win makes the Fighting Saints 10-18 overall. They're now 6-3 in conference, and they've won 3 in a row. The last 2 of them in blowouts. Really, all 3 of them have been lopsided victories for St. Francis. Trinity International falls to 8-13 this season. They're now 1-6 in conference play. That'll do it for today's broadcast. A little bit shorter than we anticipated, but the Saints made it that way by dominating offensively. 13-0, our final score in a 7-inning game. Saints are next at home on Friday afternoon. I'll talk to you then. This wraps up today's game. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully it's warmer next time. Terry Bonadonna signing off from Joliet, Illinois. Enjoy the rest of your day.